Coming to you live at the GAMA Trade Show at the Peppermill Resort and Casino in Reno, Nevada, Twist Gaming! Now take it away, Matt.
Hello everyone, welcome. This is Twist Gaming. We're live from GAMA. I have taken over for Matt, and this is Josh, and I'm here with Rainer from Board and Dice. God, thanks for coming. How has GAMA been so far? It's the first day.
It is,
so
and it's a lot of setting things up and getting things ready. But it's been good so far.
All right. So what did you bring to show us here?
So I brought Inuit, which is a game that is actually premiering here at GAMA.
Okay.
And it's a card drafting and tableau building game with obviously an Inuit theme to it.
Okay. It looks really pretty. The art is really beautiful from what I can tell so far.
Yeah. And basically, the idea of this game is that each player they have their own village.
Yeah.
And you will be drafting cards as the game goes on to expand your village, to have different, to make sure that you have the hunters that you need, the warriors, elders, shamans, and so forth, to then basically have the most successful
Okay.
village.
So we're trying to have the best village.
Yes. In the game, so you have here. This would be the orange players board. So this is kind of how the game would start, and each of these spots here, they represent different occupation that people might have in.
Okay, so we have the elder and the shaman, the warrior. We have whalers, bear hunters, sea trappers, and scouts.
Yep, that's correct. And on your turn, you will be flipping over a card from this deck and adding it to what's called the Great White. And then you get to perform an action based on the different occupations in your village. And they do a couple of different things. For example, the Elder lets you add more people to your village. So, for example, you could take one of these cards and add it to any occupation. So, for example, if I added it here to Warrior, for example.
Okay, so we have a child warrior now.
Yes. You can
take any of the cards?
You can take any one action here.
Okay.
Elders add people to your village.
Okay, so people.
Now if I had people assigned as whalers, then when I take this action, now I would be able to basically hunt for 2 whales.
Okay.
Same thing with like seal trapper and so forth.
Okay.
So basically, the more
I can't recruit in a whale to be a warrior, am I?
Correct.
Correct. That's not quite so fun.
No. But you could instead say, okay, well, I want to activate the seal trapper because you don't have any additional seal trappers in your village. You'd only be able to do it one. But there's only one seal here. You would take it, add it here. Now you have caught a seal for your village.
Okay.
And this is now going to be victory points at the end of the game.
Okay, so is there a little bit like a set collection kind of thing?
There is a little bit. So each of the cards you'll see at the bottom of them, some of them show victory points.
Okay.
So for example, the seal is worth 2 points. The orca is 3 points.
And that's all the seals in order. It doesn't.
Correct.
It's not varied.
Yep. A polar bear, for example, would be worth 4 victory points. And so forth.
And I'm assuming there's less polar bears in the game than there are seals and all that. To kind of balance it out.
But then there are also other cards. For example, with the shaman, so there are rites and spirits in the game, and with the shaman, that's how you can acquire those, and they might change. So, for example, there's
that right there.
They might change. Either in this case, this one gives you 2 victory points for every elder that you have.
Okay.
So if you have acquired more people in your village that are now elders, now that would mean that you would score victory points for those at the end of the game.
So that they kind of give you an extra bonus for how you score points.
Yep.
So even though seals might not be worth much, or this one is
this one is for the polar bear. So there are those for the seals, for the orcas, for the polar bears, and so forth. So there's obviously a matter of both building and making sure that you have the villagers in your village to be able to take the actions that you need, and then also, of course, making sure that you can score the victory points for it.
And you can get multiple of these?
So there's only one of each.
But like you get multiple.
But you can get multiple ones. So you have one, for example, for the seals, and one for scouts.
And they just come up in the board? Okay. And that's...
So this deck will have a number of different rights and and spirits. There will be villagers, and as you can see, there are a lot of these cards that are there are villagers for each color in the game.
Okay.
So there are 4 different player colors, and when you take a card, at the end of the game, you will score victory points for every villager in your village that matches your color, or in fact in any village. So if we are the green player, even if the orange player has taken now
taking one of your villagers per se,
correct,
you still get points.
That will still score you victory points. However, you score negative points for every villager of another player's color that you have. And you will continue the game until the Polar Nightfall card has come up. At that point, that will signal the end of the game.
So pretty much, you say, "I'm going to activate one of these to grab a card from the."
Yes, from the Great White.
From the Great White,
yeah.
And it just
so the gameplay. I mean, it flows very quickly. In that you choose one of your actions. You take either Elder to add more both adults and children to your village, or one of the other actions to either for warriors or go hunting. And,
so what do the warriors do exactly?
So the warriors basically if I were to take the warrior action, I can also take one. I can take an adult or a child.
Okay.
And that's basically it will do 2 things. One, that will reduce the ability for other players to take them, and then effectively I would take that card, and instead of adding it as a villager here with the elder action, I just put it face down here. So this represents the weapons of the enemies that have been defeated.
So you basically take out other villagers,
right?
That are on the Great White.
Yes.
All right. So the last thing I would see, the scout.
So the scout allows you, if you at the beginning of every turn, you will flip one of these cards, but you might be, especially if you have built up, let's say that in this case, if we are. I want to take the whaling action and hunt for orcas. Well, there are only 2 of them over here. You can, after you have flipped the one card, you can choose, for every scout you have, you can choose to flip additional cards.
Okay.
Hoping to, now, still, since you can only take 1 action, so that means that any that are left over will obviously be more options for other players.
Okay.
And so forth. And if you want to show some of these, the artwork in the game, obviously it's with the Inuit theme. It's a game that we spent a lot of time and effort to both make sure that the artwork is representative of the culture, and also to get feedback from Inuit individuals and organizations in the making of the game.
That's very cool that you actually reached out to them to
well, and I think it's important, right? You shouldn't take it. We don't want to take it lightly to release a game about, especially in a living in the existing culture.
No,
it's something that you
cool.
have to be very respectful of, and make sure that you respect them, and it's something that we obviously encourage people to educate themselves more about.
So looking here, we have the rite of sacrifice.
Yes.
So what does this do?
So that particular card, that lets you. So it says that you can move 1 Inuit from within your village to weapons. So that's a way for you to basically arrange the occupation. So it could be that you want to focus on something else in your village, so you can now move one of them, or it could even be, in this case, because it's moved to weapons. That's basically now one that represents someone that has.
All right. So if you had someone else's color, you could be like, all right,
yep.
I used you for the first bit of the game, you're going away.
Yeah.
I'm sending you to war.
Yep.
All right. So it seems cool. It seems like so it's like a drafting kind of tableau game.
Yeah.
It seems like there's some hate drafting in here a little bit.
And
it can be.
I mean,
depending on players.
It can be. Obviously, the main thing is for you to want to draft cards that are good for your village and for the different actions that you are trying to take. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And this is out now?
This is coming out right now, yes.
Right now? Okay.
Yes.
So stores should have this any day now?
In the next couple of weeks, yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right. I see you also brought something else over here. What else did you bring us?
So I also brought... this is a game called Dust in the Wings, and this will come out... it will be premiering at the UK Games Expo.
Okay.
And this particular game, we can actually... move this just a little bit so I can show. So this game, it's coming out, like I said, at the UK Games Expo, and it is a. It's based on the idea of basically you are a photographer, you are visiting a meadow, and you're trying to take photos of different butterflies. So I can show here, for example, on the back of the box. There will be different butterflies that are placed out in. Oh, that works. Be different butterflies that are placed out in the meadow at the beginning of the game, and these are all really nice wooden meeples. And on your turn, Mancala style, you will choose any one location, pick up all the butterflies, and you'll place them one by one into the other meadow spaces, trying to either score, in this case, different patterns, or a different where it might be that you're trying to have a row or column, for example, of five spaces where there are no more than 2 butterflies in each. For example.
Very interesting. So just that just moving the butterflies around the map each turn and trying to get objective cards.
And on the one where you drop the last one, that's where you are trying to then perform a match to score victory points.
That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. And in fact, I can show you the butterflies from this one.
Some butterflies here. We got red butterfly.
Yep. So these are all really nice.
Blue. And then
nice wooden.
This one's going to just be probably the invisible butterfly.
Yes, that's right. So they would be placed out onto this meadow at the beginning.
The board's really pretty.
Yeah. Thank you.
So it's only a 5x5 grid, so it's not very big.
Right.
And how many butterflies do you start the game with?
There will be one placed onto each. So randomly you will draw from a bag the different butterflies, and they will be placed based on how many flowers there are in each meadow space. So that's how many of the different butterflies will be. Yep. And then different objective cards are placed out, showing you, for example, either patterns or collections of butterflies.
So they're global objectives, not personal ones, right?
Correct. And basically, you have your choice of 3 different ones here and 3 here, where you can, and they're just like the one that I was showing on the back of the box. Where in this case, for example, you need a space where there are 3 blue and 1 yellow butterfly in order to score that one. So you might be looking for. Let's say that we have a couple of different spaces. This right here might be a good example. So in this case, let's say that we had it like this. If I picked these ones up and I dropped off a yellow here and a blue here, now this space meets that requirement of having 3 blue and 1 yellow, and I can take the card and score it.
All right, and then a new card comes out.
Correct.
Scored for the next round. All right. I'm assuming you can't do multiple objectives at once.
You can do one at a time. So.
All right, very cool. And this is coming out?
This is coming out at UK Games Expo.
Which is when for viewers?
June.
June? Okay.
Yep.
So Origins kind of timeline? Same time then? All right, awesome. Anything else coming on in the pipeline for Board and Dice?
So we have coming up later in the year. We do have an expansion for Teotihuacan, which will be coming out at Gen Con.
I think that's what you showed us at Dice Tower, right? The giant board with everything.
So we have an expansion for that we're really excited about. That will be coming out then. We also have a Escape Tales 2 will be coming out.
Okay.
So we had Escape Tales: The Awakening that came out at Essen, so that will be coming. We also have a couple. We have an expansion later in the year for Dice Settlers as well that's coming out. So
that sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for showing us your games.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for watching. We're going to be signing off for just a second. We'll be back with more live GAMA coverage soon. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.